Greetings, Ani, Bojo, Kwekwe, Tansi, Scano. It's Catherine and Brian here at Moonstarlodge in Central Ontario with the weekly reading for February the 5th through to the 11th. Hard to believe. We've got a new moon in this cycle and it's Ways the Truth. Anyway, welcome if you're new here and welcome back if you've been with us. We bring an Indigenous perspective on all things cartomancy using the Indigenous lunar cycles. And I mentioned a new moon, and on the 9th we have the new moon, the third new moon of this year. It's called Ways the Truth is the name of the grandmother. And Ways the Truth, this is my birth cycle, so this is a biggie for me. Ways the Truth is the keeper of equality and the guardian of justice, the fair judge of divine law and the destroyer of deception, the mother of truth and protectress of the underdog. She is the mother of self-determination and responsibility. She teaches us how to find the ability to respond and how to be self-determined, how to feed the positive, not the negative, by using divine law, how to use equality with justice, being accountable for one's actions and words, how to use personal integrity, ethics, and values to find healing solutions. She teaches us how to accept the truth. So I'm using the same decks as last week, and you can see a picture of those accompanying the reading information for this week and last week. And let's go to the cards, Brian. So here are the 7 actual tarot cards. Here are their clarifiers up to here, and a Moonology card and a Pluto card. So we start with the 7 of Stars, which is the 7 of Pentacles. This is working and working and working away and gaining experience and being very clear that we've honed our skills. There is a truth to the knowledge we've gained. We know what to do. We are well on our way. And it's clarified by the 8 of Wands, which is go like stink. So keep working. It's an important time to keep doing what you've started. We had a lot of Wands last week. And so there's the energy and the spiritual impetus. Sometimes with the 7 of Pentacles, we can be becoming tired of being a journeyman. We're not an apprentice anymore, but we're not quite the master of our skill. We're somewhere in the middle. Don't get tired. Remember the spiritual impetus that brought you to doing what you're doing. The Queen of Wands is back this week with more energy to spare. Maybe she'll zap us in the butt with that giant crystal. The energy and spiritual spark of the divine that we need is present to us this week. And it's interesting because it's clarified by the 1 of Wands. So it's seeing this as if with fresh eyes. It's as if it's a new beginning, and there may be a new beginning in the offing. But we also have the 10 of Wands, which is working so hard and so long and carrying so much that needs to be done. We need to finish one set of projects and get on to the next. It's clarified here by Shaggy Ink Cap. This is a mushroom. These are all night cards, and anything that grows or prowls at night is in this reading this week. So the Shaggy Ink Cap is growth and destruction cycle. So clearly, that's exactly what's going on here. We've had a growth and now it needs to end. So it's time to let go what is going to become a burden if we don't let it. The Two of Stars, again, this is this is Pentacles, and this is balance. This is juggling, keeping things in balance. The inner and the outer world are responsibilities. But it's still clarified by the Chariot. It's about pick our paths and go. And it's reminiscent of the underscoring energy of the Eight of Wands here. We're meant not to slow down to a stop. We need to get in our chariot and go. The Seven of Swords is an interesting card. It's about expansion on knowledge, but sometimes looking at the competition and becoming surreptitious and perhaps stealing. In a contemporary time, this is also about the imposter syndrome. This is about being afraid that one is being pushed into a situation or taking on a situation for which they are really not qualified. So somebody being pushed off the factory floor into a management position, feeling unsure. It's like in our community when a young teenager wants to go out on a vision quest, but they're going to be alone in the bush for 10 days. The fear that they can't do it is what this card represents. So the next journey, there could be an element here of being a little bit burnt out and needing time to find balance before the taking on of something new. But the clarifying card here is consciousness. Being conscious is being aware without judgment, without fear of what's real. So this is a fear-based card in some circles. It's about needing to steal something because we don't feel that we can do it ourselves. We need to take it from somebody else. It's also about going into our ingenuity. So the consciousness connection to Source will help us find the tools we need to work here in this Seven of Swords paradigm. Three of Wands comes back this week from last week, the same as the Queen. The Three of Wands is about being back on track. We're back on track. We're nearing the end. The end is in sight of something we have been creating. And the spirit guides and teachers are telling us that you have the power, or we all have the power, to make ourselves better. So I think that's almost a reference here. We don't have to get surreptitious and sneaky. We don't have to take anything that isn't ours. We need to own up to where we are and just walk with a sense of clarity. That's what this card is saying we're doing. We are getting back into this, but making sure that we're doing what we need to do to stay on course. The Eight of Moons is the Eight of Cups, and this is very important actually. It's a possibility that by the time we get to this point in the week, we've realized that something we've loved, which is down here, maybe not what we need for the moment. So it's stepping away, taking a sabbatical, going on a vision quest. So the consciousness card is connecting us with Source. The Moonflower card is transformation, and the plant that becomes the totem plant for this week is Angel's Trumpet. So we are going through a transformation. We're letting things go. We are still on a journey. The journey is transforming. So what was here may not still be here by the time the end of the journey is happening. So let's look at the Pluto. Totem is doe, as in female deer. I won't sing, for those of you who get where I was going with that. It's about receptivity, birth, new beginnings, gentleness. In our culture, in the indigenous perception of deer, they are the poets and the dreamers and the singers and the gentle people. So it may be time to look at what really makes your heart sing. And maybe it is this. Maybe it is what you've been doing. But you have to step away in order to know. The Moonology card is assess the situation. So that's very clear. We need to assess the situation in this new moon of Ways the Truth. We need to know what is the truth of the journey we're on. That's the bottom line. It's this message is from the first quarter moon in Virgo. Intuitively, I get that what we are doing here will manifest by the first moon in Virgo. So look that up on your moon charts and see how that pans out in terms of a general timeline for most people. Remember, this is a collective reading. So, you can flip the camera, Brian. This is a week. I'm going to make sure that I hold on to the picture of this reading for this week and really think about it. I'm going to put this one in my tarot journal. I don't usually, because it's on record in other ways, but this is one to think about. There's a lot of positives here. It's all really positive in the end. It just requires some awareness of what we're good at doing, but we need to do more of or gain more knowledge about. And we're stepping into, we've passed the midpoint of winter. And by the middle of February, we will be seeing vast increases in sunlight and the early twinges of spring. So it's a good time to lay plans and really be conscious of what we're doing, where we're going. It's still early in the year, obviously. So, from Brian and I, we wish you well. Please give us a thumbs up and subscribe. It helps so much with Google sharing the messages out to others. Send me a coffee if you can. And follow the links in the description of this video to get to the website, and we'll talk to you soon. Miigwech aho.